The president is always desirous of asking the private sector to join hands.
Information Minister urges the private sector to lead in compressed natural gas.
And let me finally say that road is everything.
Sectoral reviews, federal government to step up construction of good road networks, power generation and distribution.
We have enough technology to be able to detect who they are.
Northern governors vow to fish out perpetrators of attacks on the plateau. Hello and a warm welcome to the network news on NTA. I am Elizabeth Omori, and compliments of the season. Hingino John Adams joins us from Lagos. Don't forget to follow us live on our website nta.ng/live, NTA News Now on X, as well as other platforms displayed on the screen. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has applauded the flag off of ABG Compressed Natural Gas Conversion Center in Abuja. He said this is a laudable private sector initiative that will fast-track federal government's efforts towards deepening CNG utilization, reducing over-reliance on petrol, and promoting cleaner and cheaper alternative fuel. Lydia Samsi brings us details.
It's a wonderful initiative by...
The minister is categorical that the ABG CNG Conversion Center is a first of its kind, particularly the training of 40 young Nigerians on efficient CNG conversion process.
You are aware that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has committed the sum of about 100 billion in the first instance to support this initiative. That money is meant for the first purchase of CNG buses, conversion, and support to private sector like this. And I know that the president is always desirous of asking the private sector to join hands. So whatever government will do to support the private sector, it will do it.
The minister says he's not surprised given the antecedent of ABG in pioneering satellite television in Nigeria in the past 4 decades. For 82-year-old Bawa Garba, trailblazing resonates with his resolve at collaborating with government towards creating employment and deepening private sector participation in business.
The idea is to flag off here, and the next after Abuja will be Lagos.
We are willing to do instrumental payments for drivers. We are also partnering with a bank where they can go and open a bank. Once they are registered with us, we will take them to that bank. That bank is willing to also fund them for the conversion kits, interest-free.
Raji Adegoke, one of the 40, gave insight on the knowledge acquired so far.
Between the gas cylinder at the back of the boot, there is a high-pressure hose that takes the gas from the boot to the engine.
ABG international partner and lead trainer is optimistic that the 40 Nigerians trained are good to go on all conversion processes.
First of all, yes, they're capable of doing any type of intervention. Their installations are actually very well oriented and guaranteed.
They are unanimous that CNG is cost-effective and eco-friendly alternative to petrol, offering several benefits. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
And Nigerians have been told to look forward to improved crude oil production that will help strengthen the economy in 2024. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Heineken Lokubri, while responding to questions from journalists in his hometown, Iperimo, Bayelsa State, projected a daily production of 2 million barrels of crude oil in the new year. Aya Prezi brings us details.
Crude oil has continued to play a substantial role in Nigeria's earnings and thus crucial to the funding of the nation's annual budgets over the years. Consequently, any drop in crude oil production has always directly or indirectly impacted the economy. Well abreast with the crucial role of the Petroleum Ministry and its assignment, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Heineken Lokubri, is assuring Nigerians of improved crude oil production profile in 2024.
Our projection for the year 2024 will be to surpass 2 million barrels per day, and we will achieve it. When I came, we were doing about 1 million barrels. Today we are doing about 1.7, inclusive of condensate. So we can fund our budget comfortably. But we can do a lot more. And I'm already engaging them. I'm engaging all the companies about their plan for 2024 so that we can sustain this momentum.
The issue of crude oil theft and related crimes in the petroleum sector, the minister says, is being tackled decisively to keep the oil industry robust and serve the desired purpose in the country. In a Keremo town in the Keremo local government area of Bayelsa State, Aya, Prezi, NTA News.
To education, the Federal Ministry of Education has suspended evaluation and accreditation of degree certificates from Benin Republic and Togo, effective from 2nd of January 2024. The ministry says this is pending the outcome of an investigation that would involve the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria, the two countries, as well as the Department of State Security Services and the NYSC. The ministry calls on the public to show understanding and provide useful information that will assist the committee in finding lasting solutions. The ministry has also commenced internal administrative processes to determine the culpability of her staff, to which applicable public service rules would be applied. Meanwhile, federal government commences the construction of vocational schools across the nation as part of efforts to equip the youth with enduring and sustainable skills. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, stated this during a facility tour at the General Murtala Mohammed College, Yola, expressing commitment of the government to give priority to education. Yusuf Jika reports.
The facility, with the provision of a laboratory, workshops, classes and offices, will serve as a center of excellence to reshape and rebuild students' mindset on vocational and technical skills, as well as become self-dependent after graduation. Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, said the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is desirous at ensuring that young Nigerians have access to integrated education with a combination of technical skills acquisition. He said such development will secure the future of youth to become productive after acquiring knowledge at all levels.
This government is interested in bridging the gap between what is approved and what is happening on the ground. So we want to see our projects being executed and according to the terms of the contracts.
Tahir, who expressed satisfaction with the level and quality of work done so far, urged the contracting firm to meet up with the contractual deadline and requirements.
If we can call it 60%.
So when do you expect to see?
By the end of this month.
The minister reiterated the commitment of the federal government to pay the 4 months unpaid salary of university lecturers as promised in Yola. Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
To infrastructural development, Kaduna State Governor Obasani flags off construction of a major road linking Sanga local government area of Jama'a through Kiban and Godo. Mohammed Umar Ajingi reports that this step taken by the state government is to link up most of the villages of southern Kaduna so as to open up rural economy and ensure easy movement of farm produce.
This is one of the roads linking the two rich agrarian local government areas of Sanga and Jama'a. The people have been begging for it to be given the required attention. The Kaduna State Governor is here for the flagging of ceremony to ensure the dream of the people of Sanga and Jama'a, who have a long-standing history of neighbors staying together as a family, to get an access road to enhance their relationships of the people from diverse ethnic groups, as well as promote economic activities in the area.
We want to bridge the gap between our urban and rural areas, ensuring that prosperity is shared. When completed, this road in Gontu through Kiban linking Sanga to Jama will provide forward and backward linkages to farms and markets.
To ensure the people of the rural areas, apart from getting the needed infrastructure to enjoy life, their children are self-reliant and exposed to modern skills. From southern Kaduna, the governor proceeds to Soba local government area, where he laid a foundation for the construction of a modern vocational and skill acquisition center. The Soba Town Skill Acquisition City is a third flagged off by the governor after the ones at Rugachukun and Samarun Kataf within 3 months. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Marajingi, NTA News.
Now, being an election year, 2023 witnessed the completion of construction of major public projects as federal and state governments strive to use such as campaign tools. Correspondent Abdullahi Mohammed reports that the sector was better for it, but more needs to be done, and already the new people at the helm of affairs are warming up to that.
It's been a year full of grace with breathtaking infrastructure built across bridges.
Like the Onitsha Second Bridge, it's a monumental project, very critical to the economic development of this country. The Oweto Bridge in Nasarawa and Benue State, very critical to the economic development of this country. The dualization of Kefi, Akwanga, Lafia, Makuri Road is a big project and very critical.
The 2023, if you can remember very well, is an election year. So naturally there are a lot of dislocation in policies vis-a-vis the activities of the construction industry also got affected because the insecurity, the tension.
Even with that, a lot is left to the grass, and a civil engineer with an eye for high quality finishing takes charge of the works ministry. Without much ado, he hits the road with his sleeves up, conducting thorough assessment. The good, the bad and ugly he saw, and the new sheriff rang a new bell for a more reliable method of road construction in Nigeria.
My own is that Nigerians must get value for their taxes, for their commitments, that we must minimize the sufferings of Nigerians. And let me finally say that road is everything.
But those who execute these contracts are more concerned about shortfalls in budgets.
So what I would suggest, the president, being a very smart president, articulated, visionary, a miracle maker, I would advise him to set up a presidential committee to look into these abandoned projects, provide enough funds to the committee for the particular abandoned projects so that the presidential committee will focus on that issue. I am sure if we can achieve only that, I think Nigeria will be better.
And for some of those who came so and conquer in the construction industry, public-private partnership is the way to go, they say.
And the answer is, the private sector can only come into infrastructure development under PPP if there are clear guidelines. If the law, the regulatory framework, the legal framework is very clear, so that if any investment done by the private sector, if there's any breach, there will be the opportunity to redress it. That is not clear now. So the government is depending on the budget, the annual budget, and today the whole budget of the Federal Ministry of Works on a road, I don't think it's up to 500 billion. And therefore, something has to give. And that is the reform in the road sector. And that reform is critical.
The industry will open its arms to greater investment opportunities with guarantee in road maintenance. In Abuja, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
Thank you, Abdullahi, for that review. The federal government is set to commence the National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Clinics. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Job Creation and MSMEs, Office of the Vice President, Temitola Adekunle Jensen, says the initiative, now to be known as the Expanded National MSMEs Clinics, will kick off in Makurdi, Benue State on the 9th of January 2024. Vice President Kashim Shettima will be accompanied by Governor Hyacinth Alia, members of the federal and state executive councils and private sector partners to flag off the event. The Vice President will also be in Maiduguri, Borno State on January 11 for the second edition of the expanded clinics featuring small businesses in the state. It will be accompanied to the Borno clinics by the State Governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, cabinet ministers and top government officials. The third edition of the clinics, tagged Mega Clinics, will be held in the FCT on the 26th of June, followed by the National MSME Awards on the 27th of June as part of activities commemorating the United Nations World MSME Day. You're watching the Network News on NTA. Time to take a breather. The news continues shortly. Welcome back. Now let's review another sector. It was a mix of the good, the bad and the ugly for the power sector in Nigeria as more rural communities get connected. New technologies, alternative sources and collapse of national grids causing temporary blackouts all played out in 2023. Correspondent Ibrahim Danhamidu, who reviewed the sector, however, says optimism is growing amongst stakeholders that the sector has been the worst, but has never had a better prospect than now.
In 2023, Nigeria experienced significant surge in renewable energy investments, with solar projects leading the way. The government, in collaboration with the private sector, organizations, and foreign investors, launched an ambitious initiative to leverage Nigeria's vast renewable energy potential. Solar power mini-grids were established in various regions, contributing to a cleaner and more sustainable energy mix.
As there is a direct transmission of light or electricity from generation to transmission to distribution to customer, there must be a reverse transmission of liquidity from customer to distribution to transmission to generation, so that generating companies can pay gas companies.
Improving access to electricity for both urban and rural populations was a priority. The government implemented a major electrification program, improving transmission infrastructure and connecting remote communities to the grid. Special attention was given to previously neglected areas, resulting in transformative changes in the lives of millions of Nigerians.
Government still subsidizes power. Tariffs should have been raised or increased. The Mr. President said, until we're able to achieve regular and incremental power supply, we can't even touch the tariff.
The power sector faced challenges in 2023 related to transmission and distribution infrastructure. However, the government has launched initiatives to improve existing infrastructure networks in collaboration with international partners. Investments were made to expand transmission capacity and improve grid stability and reduce transmission losses, all with the aim of ensuring a more robust energy distribution system nationwide.
With investment being made, it's hopeful that maybe in the next few years we would have full power, and it will be the issue of UPNEPA will be a past.
Anyway, I've heard of these issues over and over about the collapse of the national grid. I know it's affecting a lot of people, and also it's affecting businesses.
The system collapse that we witnessed was just for a few hours, but was very, very operational. It wasn't due to any strategic fault in the grid. So, and immediately we witnessed it, our people went into operations and they made sure they arrested the situation and they restored power back to the entire country.
The year 2023 brought significant milestones in the power and energy sector. The country's determination to address its energy deficit, diversify its energy mix, and transition to sustainable development demonstrates commitment to meeting the growing energy needs of its population. In Abuja, Ibrahim Nahamidu, NTA News.
A bit on humanitarian affairs. With the Port Harcourt refinery set to begin production, Nigeria's economy will take a better shape in the new year. Governor Muhammadu Inuayaya stated this while flagging off the second phase of palliative distribution in the state. Emmanuel Akila reports.
The second phase of the palliative distribution is designed to provide food assistance to 90,000 persons, mostly the poor and vulnerable. While flagging of the distribution, Governor Inuayaya reiterates federal government's resolve to transform the economy to ease the challenges facing the country.
The Port Harcourt refinery is resuming production, so very soon we'll have our locally refined petroleum products getting to the people. And there's no reason for why such products that are made locally should cost as much as what is costing the people now.
The molded bags of rice are to be distributed to the beneficiaries at the ward levels across the 11 local government areas of the state.
The governor doesn't leave us hungry. We appreciate the government.
Governor Muhammad Ino Yahya revealed that in 2023, Gombe State government had distributed palliatives to 420,000 beneficiaries and implemented wage award to workers, promising better days in the new year. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
And about 600 petty traders in Kebbi State are benefiting from a cash empowerment program to boost small-scale businesses in the state. Governor Nasser Idris flagged off the empowerment program in Birnin Kebbi. Abdul Mohammed Bawa reports.
The 600 SME beneficiaries are to undergo various skills acquisition such as tailoring, shoemaking and catering among others. 430 traders are to benefit 20,000 naira each, while 170 to benefit 10,000 naira each to boost their businesses.
To be honest, if the government continue with this kind of empowerment, unemployment will be a thing of the past in the state.
Governor Nasir Idris charged the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the empowerment.
My administration will continue to support every trader in the state because you are contributing your quota to the development of the state.
Meanwhile, the governor has inaugurated the newly elected executives for the Market Traders Association of Nigeria, Kebbi State chapter. The governor was awarded in appreciation for his support towards the traders. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
In other news, the National Hajj Commission extends the deadline for payment of 2024 Hajj. In a statement, the Commission's Assistant Director of Public Affairs, Fatima Sanda Usara, notes that the new deadline is now January 31, 2024, as against December 31, 2023. This is in response to the concerns raised by religious clerics, state pilgrims welfare boards, agencies, commissions, state governors and other stakeholders regarding closure of 2024 Hajj registration. The Commission says the federal government's approval for an extension of the deadline is to provide a window for new registrants to do so, and by the end of January, those who need to balance payment would be able to do so as well. NACON seizes this chance to remind intending pilgrims and other stakeholders that the Saudi Arabian Ministry of Hajj and Umrah has slated 25th of February as last date for signing of all contracts, signaling the end of payments into IBAN accounts. With this extension, NACON has barely a month to finalize payment of all Hajj deposits into its IBAN account for the 2024 Hajj. To the Plateau attack, the governors of Nasarawa, Benue and Niger states are calling for thorough investigation to reveal those behind the recent attacks in Plateau State with a view to bringing them to book. This was during a condolence visit to their Plateau counterpart, Caleb Muftwang in Jos. Grace Akwe Gupti reports.
Governors who were accompanied by key officials from their states describe as worrisome the recent attacks which led to killings of citizens and wanton destruction of valuable properties. They expressed dismay that Plateau, which is home of all, is experiencing such incidents, calling on the federal government to assist states battling with security issues.
We have to find a way. You should be the one, you should gather the courage to invite all those involved, all the major stakeholders, irrespective of where they are, who they are. You know, today we have enough technology to be able to detect who they are.
You cannot wish an enemy what you are going through at this moment. We have come to condole with all of you and to assure you of our support. Peace is not negotiable. We have to find peace wherever peace is.
So this is a moment of history that these governors are seizing. As we continue to compare notes as governors, particularly in this region, it gives me hope that Nigeria will be better.
In Jos, Grace Akwegoti, NTA News.
As part of strategic initiative targeted at ensuring full realization of the corporate strategic goals of the Corps for the year 2024, the Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Alibio, has approved the redeployment of 2 Deputy Corps Marshals and 1 Assistant Corps Marshal to key departments and Corps offices in order to boost safer monitoring environment. Deputy Corps Marshal Shehu Al-Khalizaki, the erstwhile Deputy Corps Marshal in charge of training department, is to oversee the affairs of operations, while Deputy Corps Marshal Bisi Kazim is to take charge of training department at the national headquarters, Abuja. The Corps Marshal also approved the redeployment of former Assistant Corps Marshal Administration and Strategies, Assistant Corps Marshal Jonas Agu, to take over the administration of Corps Public Education Office. The redeployments take effect from 15th of January 2024. This is the network news on NTA. For more reports on the news, let's join Hingino in Lagos. Hingino, nice to see you.
Hello, Lizzie. The usual Lagos life is yet to fully pick up after the festivities, as most residents are still basking in the euphoria of the New Year celebrations. Amaka O monitored the situation within the metropolis and brought back this report.
The roads are somewhat devoid of traffic, as many residents are yet to return from the holidays and motorists are having a smooth ride on major roads. Only few passengers are seen at bus stops waiting to board available commercial vehicles to their destinations. Some offices are still closed in the first few days of the year. Louis Joseph, a logistics management expert, is excited to return to work with lots of hopes and expectations. Other respondents also share same enthusiasm for what the year holds for them.
I feel very comfortable resuming back to office and to start strong for this year.
New Year, so I'm refreshed to resume back to work.
I'm expecting growth physically, spiritually, financially.
This commercial bus driver is also hoping that business pick up in no distant time.
At this time of the season, passengers don't day much because a lot of people don't travel. So we make Lagos today scanty. Unlike during that Christmas time within 18, 19, 20 weeks ago, that one will be our season.
At the Central Business District, it was observed that businesses are still at the lowest ebb. It is expected that in the coming days, the usual hustling and bustling associated with Lagos lifestyle will return. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
As the nation begins the year 2024, economic experts have urged the government to start early implementation of its blueprints of reviving the country's economy. The analysts stated this while using the indices available to make economic projections for 2024. Larry Billy has the details.
The president is not oblivious to the hopes a lot of Nigerians are putting on his administration's promises to deliver in economic projections for national development.
No excuse for poor performance from any of my appointees will be good enough. It is the reason I put in place a policy coordination, evaluation, monitoring, and delivery unit in the presidency to make sure that governance output improves.
For the past 7 months, President Tinubu has been rolling out plans of achieving his administration's renewed hope agenda. Now, a year has been ushered in. With 365 days in the year, economic analysts say the president and his cabinet members should make each day count by prioritizing bank recapitalization, bringing the country's refineries back on stream, creating a vibrant ecosystem of digital economy, among others.
Mechanical completion of Port Harcourt refinery is a great one, so commissioning can start, and sometimes in early this year, 2024, we can begin to see commercial production. The same goes for the Dangote refinery.
On the part of effort, enough of effort is in place, and we know that the CBN has promised that it's currently going to introduce new reforms that is going to be a market-driven reforms that will capture the yearnings of all the market participants.
Experts believe a lot is required, including sincerity of purpose to strengthen the nation's economy. In Lagos, Larry Bileyi, NTA News.
That's it from here. Benny Adams is standing by with business news, but that will be after this break.
Good to have you. Join us at this time. It's that time we talk business. I'll start by telling you that oil prices rose on Tuesday after Iran dispatched a warship to the Red Sea as the situation remains tense in the critical waterway for global shipments that has seen vessels attacked by Yemen's Houthi rebels. Global crude benchmark Brent jumped $1.6 to $78.27 a barrel, while the U.S. West Texas Intermediate rose 1.42% to $72.67 per barrel during Asia trading hours. Iran on Monday announced it sent the Al-Bos destroyer through the strategic Bab al-Mandeb Strait, the country's state media reported, without elaborating on details of the warship's mission. It added that operations are periodically conducted in the Red Sea to secure shipping routes. And on commodities market, gold firms on Fed rate cut hopes, U.S. data in focus. Let's now see how other commodities are trading around the world. Now on Nigerian equities, we bring you cheering news that the Nigerian equities smashes 75,000 mark in the first day of trading, appreciating 1.63%. A total of 515.6 million shares in 9,370 deals, corresponding to a market value of 5.573 billion naira, were traded. Today's data shows 40% improvement in volume, 57% improvement decline in turnover, but 39% improvement in deals. The current market capitalization is 41.6 trillion naira. Mutual Benefits Assurance recorded the highest volume of 102 million traded shares, followed by Transcorp Nigeria 46.6 million and Unity Bank 35.2 million. That is business news, but network news continues with Elizabeth. Elizabeth, it's nice doing business with you.
Always, Benny. Thank you so much. The health sector is next on our 2023 sectoral review, and correspondent Sheye Adiagbo brings us details of major issues in that sector.
From a significant surge in diphtheria cases to the outbreak of Lassa fever, suspected cases of cholera infections, and lately reimagining dengue fever in Sokoto State, northwest Nigeria, are developments of national public health that kept epidemiologists on their toes in 2023. Controlling these health challenges, players driving the nation's healthcare system continue to strengthen immunization programs to substantially control and prevent outbreak of diseases. In the year under review, Nigeria witnessed several breakthroughs, including meeting 70% of COVID-19 vaccination targets.
Now, to sustain the effect, we're going to have to really strengthen the routine immunization program. And that is a core pillar of the agenda of the primary healthcare system going forward. We're really going to be looking at those systemic issues that make it difficult for our people to get access to the life-saving vaccines that they need for our children especially.
The month of October is bound to go down memory lane as the human papillomavirus HPV vaccine was introduced into the routine immunization schedule in all the 36 states and the FCT, with the aim of reaching 7.7 million girls in the country.
In the first phase states, which are 14 states and the FCT, we have vaccinated 4.7 million girls as of now, which surpasses the target that we set for this period, which means we have all of these young ladies are now protected from the risk of future cancer.
Nigeria improved in the Joint External Evaluation JEE from 39% in 2018 to 54% to become third country in the world to conduct the second JEE. Nigeria's Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) also launched a 5-year strategy and implementation plan targeted at tackling emerging public health threats and evolving challenges. Chika Okafor of the Vaccine Network for Disease Control has also been monitoring developments in Nigeria's healthcare financing and vaccines programs.
Truthfully, Nigeria introduced 2 critical vaccines, the rotavirus vaccine and then the HPV vaccine, which is quite laudable. But all these things that we're doing, let us also start to prepare for the fact that we must have a routine way of paying for these vaccines. Gavi has said they're leaving in 5 years. 5 years is just around the corner. So we have to start to prepare our mind to routinely pay for these vaccines.
And the objective of this government is really for the primary healthcare system to guarantee every Nigerian, wherever they live, access to high quality basic healthcare services that they need at a price they can afford, that is not harmful to them. And what does that really mean? It's how do we support our PHC, primary health centers, one at a time, a few at a time, to become fully functional.
These managers of Nigeria's healthcare system appear committed to repositioning the primary healthcare service delivery and meeting the 2030 universal health coverage target. Health watchers retain hope that the current team, championing the demands of the health sector, will deliver on the promises of achieving. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Thank you, Shea. And from health, we now move to military operations, and Najatu Tijani will tell us how the armed forces fared in 2023.
Nigeria continued its active involvement in international peacekeeping missions, showcasing its commitment to global security. With the Nigerian military calling on all Nigerians to be proud of the Nigerian military.
I assure all Nigerians that the armed forces of Nigeria is here for Nigerians, and we want Nigerians to take ownership of the armed forces of Nigeria. We are not aliens from other countries. We are Nigerians just like every other person here.
Acquisition of new platforms by the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy and Nigerian Air Force, with plans for more in 2024, as well as a significant leaning towards the use of artificial intelligence, all characterized the Nigerian military's evolution in 2023.
Ability to churn out ideas to harness the power of technology will determine our success in ensuring the highest levels of operational effectiveness and efficiency. Similarly, a deep focus on artificial intelligence can revolutionize how we process data, analyze information, and make informed decisions in real time.
Despite these successes, however, the military grappled with internal security challenges, including clashes with criminal elements and communal conflict, emphasizing the complexity of maintaining domestic peace.
We have observed the migration of the criminal elements from the northeast to the northwest zone of the nation, and we are developing appropriate contingency to combat that threat.
But the Nigerian Navy's journey is far from over. We face new and emerging challenges, including the dynamic threat of terrorism and the increasing sophistication of maritime criminals. We must remain vigilant and adaptable, constantly improving our capabilities and strategies to stay ahead of the curve.
Civilian casualties and displacement raised humanitarian concerns, prompting a need for a delicate balance between security operations and safeguarding the welfare of the local population. A case in point, the Tudumbiri incident, where civilians were killed in a case of missed target fire admitted by the Nigerian army.
It shouldn't be our task, our mandate is to protect civilians, not to kill, maim, or destroy anything. And that particular time, we're on the heat of pursuing some bandits within that general area, and unfortunately this happened.
The Nigerian Air Force suffered a few setbacks as well, recording 3 crashes in 2023, including a belly landing without casualties. As the year concludes, the Nigerian military stands at a crossroads, acknowledging achievements while addressing challenges to ensure a more secure and stable future. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
And it's time to take our last set of commercials. The news continues shortly. And up next is Sports Update with Olumide Eguntola.
Super Eagles head coach Ose Pissarro says it took the national team's technical crew several weeks of evaluation to arrive at the 25 players chosen to represent Nigeria at the forthcoming African Cup of Nations. The team's camp opens Tuesday in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, for a 6-day training camp, which will see the Eagles play 2 friendly games against their counterparts from Burkina Faso and Democratic Republic of Congo.
Every seconds in the match, because you cannot repair some mistake, you cannot repair some result, because only 3 match, no way in the home, is not glory, is one competition, or do our best all the time in the match.
Meanwhile, following rumors making the round that the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has offered former Super Eagles captain Vincent Inyama a role to support goalkeeping department of the team ahead of the forthcoming African Cup of Nations, the media director of Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) Ademola Olajire has described the news as fake and baseless, an imagination of the author. In grassroots football development, 20 indigent children, including upcoming football players, drawn from the 6 geopolitical zones, have benefited from the Sheyi Akinwumi Charity Football Tournament. The former NFF Vice President is using the event to empower youth and enrich lives through football and education.
Thanking the organizer and the chairman of SACF for his vision and his belief in the development of football at these ages.
In tennis, Andy Murray falls to Grigor Dimitrov in his first match of the year, despite strong start. Andy Murray had his first match of the year in Brisbane, losing 6-4, 5-7, 2-6 to Bulgaria's Grigor Dimitrov. The Brisbane International continues Tuesday, with Rafael Nadal making his return to tennis. With sports update, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
The death has been announced of Elder Nwokocha Kalu Olugu in Ohafia local government area of Abia State. Burial arrangements by the family indicate that a service of songs and wake will take place at 7 p.m. tomorrow Wednesday at his residence on Oyirimba Road, Amepo, Ohafia. Thursday, 4th of January, body leaves Ohafia General Hospital to his compound. By 12 noon, a funeral service will hold at Ofali Agu Primary School, and interment follows thereafter. Next, a look at the weather prospect for tomorrow, Wednesday.
In us, we are beginning to see the influx of moisture into the country, especially to the coastal region, which implies increase in cloud formation over the southern cities within the next couple of days, giving patches of clouds to the coastal areas with prospects of afternoon into evening rains to parts of Bayelsa, Rivers, and Delta State. The rest of the southern cities will experience slight dust haze, while up north is expected to be mostly sunny in hazy atmosphere. Please stay tuned for the air quality index and the temperature forecast across some selected cities. My name is Joyce Ogunleye. Thanks for watching.
Network News tonight. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Elizabeth Omori.